How's it going? Welcome back to the channel. Man, I got some more The Walking Dead interviews for you guys, and today is Khary Payton, aka King Ezekiel. We talked about Ezekiel's fate in the comic changing on the big screen. He takes some shots at Carol, so Melissa McBride, you better watch out. And then 3, he talks about what was Ezekiel's arc in season 11, and he described that for us in 3 words. If you liked this video, you can wait a little bit. It's okay. You can leave the like after, if you found it cool, if you found it funny, if you found it interesting, you can click on the like button, and then you can click on the subscribe button. And that's it. That's all I have to ask. Like, subscribe. Done.
All right, man. How's it going?
It's going good, man.
You okay?
Holding up. Yeah, absolutely.
How's the baby?
The baby's awesome. Oh my
good,
God.
man.
It's funny. I always think that I'm gonna. Actually, I stopped thinking this a while ago that there was like a favorite like age or something, because it's always new and it's always cool and he's like just watching how the brothers and sisters interact with each other. The younger ones. My middle child Maya, she was talking about Eli, and she was like, I always wondered how kids like knew what their name was, and I figured at some point, like when they're maybe 3 or 4, you would tell them, and then they would be like, "Oh, that's my name." And she was like, "Eli already knows. He just knows." And it's
funny
stuff
how it
like
works,
that,
right?
like a kid's mind works. And it's like, a kid just and you don't know that unless you're an older sibling. I was the oldest, and so I always knew that kids just invariably know that everybody calls them that. That's your name.
After a while, you're like, I guess that's my name, right?
And, she's 10 years old, and she's like watching her baby brother.
Oh, 10.
Like, okay. There's like a 10-year difference between.
Little big gap. Mine are 4 years apart, and it's really funny. Even though it's just 4 years,
right? It's
such a huge gap.
It is.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. But it was the same way with my brothers and sisters. There was like an 8-year gap between my me and my brother, and then my baby brother and baby sister. So it feels like kind of history repeating itself in my family a little bit. So I'm having fun.
You had the kids. Obviously, once you started shooting The Walking Dead, you already had your kids. So did you take that fatherly instincts into caring for Henry and all that?
I guess so. You know what? Like I said, I was the oldest, so I always kind of
had to look out for someone.
Yeah. I always felt kind of like you have a certain responsibility to your younger brothers and sisters. So I feel like I was kind of carrying that for a long time,
Yeah.
And and obviously it gets a lot bigger when you're a dad. But
How did you react to that? Like, hey, we're gonna put this kid under you on the season. Like, how did you feel? Because that's different from the comics as well.
Yeah. But it's like in this business, you never know what they're gonna write. So
Especially on The Walking Dead.
Especially on The Walking Dead, but anything, I mean, that's the crazy thing about episodic television is that you get the script, if you're lucky, like a week before, you know, and you got to make choices and and they might be doing something you just never expected. So you always got to be malleable and ready to roll with the punches. So, I enjoyed it actually. The kind of that mentoring thing, and it's I just had to. I couldn't keep him away from Carol. You keep a kid, close to Carol,
especially
for too
with
long.
those cookies, man. Baking those cookies all the time.
From the cookies, from the very beginning, like kids just don't do well when Carol's around. I love her to death, but she's just not the best babysitter.
Yeah. It's probably not hire her for a movie night babysitter. Right? Yeah, it's probably not a good idea.
She's good for a lot of stuff.
And you'll get cookies. Lots of cookies.
Yeah.
Speaking of Carol and speaking of Ezekiel, their comic lines, like I was speaking to Ross earlier, are drastically different.
Mm-hmm.
It gets to a certain point where it just kind of goes a totally different direction.
Yeah.
I don't know if you were familiar before with when your character was supposed to die,
Sure.
Which was the Spikes.
Yeah, of course.
The Whisperer.
Every 14-year-old, would come to my table and tell me how I was going to die. And I'd sit there and I'd be like, okay, thank you very much. And then when I found out I wasn't going to die, I was like, you know nothing. You know nothing, kid.
You know nothing, Jon Snow.
So, but now Ezekiel has kind of become this character that's become more aware of not only his own feelings, but everybody around him and how to interact with this whole disease that's going on. Like,
Sure.
so how did you go from? How did you feel when you had to go from king and then you had to die on the pike to just go in a completely different direction?
I mean, I always knew that there was a chance that he would live, and I always knew that there was a chance that he was gonna die. So I kind of felt like before the pike scene came up, I knew that I at least had that much time, so to enjoy that time, and then everything after is gravy.
This also kind of puts an expiration date on the job,
A little
right?
bit, yeah, exactly. And so I kind of gave myself like, enjoy it while you had it, but don't expect it to be forever, because no job is ever forever.
Yeah.
And so I just kind of took it that way. And even as we were getting close to that scene with the Whisperers, I was I was a little nervous because I didn't want to leave, but at the same time I was really grateful for what we were doing. So yeah.
Oh, cool.
Somebody just
People
won.
are having fun over there.
Yeah.
Favorite deleted scene that did not make it?
Dude, man, most scenes did make it though.
Yeah?
Yeah, most scenes did make it. There may have been like moments or cuts that I wanted in the scene to happen. There was there's a scene in that we did an entire episode that was in Princess's head, and there was a scene that I screamed at the soldier, but I really wanted to scream at Paula. I really wanted to scream at Princess. No one's gonna hurt me anymore! You're gonna kill us! And we did it both ways, and they had me scream at the soldier, but in my heart I still feel like I wanted to see that moment where she connected within her own brain. You know what I mean? But most of the time, I mean, everything's in there. Yeah.
That's awesome. To close it out, because I know you got to go.
Yeah.
Describe Ezekiel's progress so far in 3 words.
Constantly clinging to life.
That's it.
Yeah.
That closes it out. Thank you
you,
so
man.
much, man. I really appreciate your time,
Absolutely.
man.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.
Down below, there's 2 options for you. There's a playlist and there is a video that I want you guys to check out. The playlist is going to be my The Walking Dead playlist that has everything from episode reactions, episode reviews, and other interviews with the cast. And my latest video is going to be the video that is my latest video at the time that you're watching this. Don't forget to subscribe. Don't forget to like. And I'll see you guys for that Coop Andrews interview. See you later.